Hi and welcome. My name is Abel Gray Cantoma. I'm from Greatest Design Consult. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers. Okay. This is we are going to be talking about Twinmotion. I'll be taking you through the process from the model itself. I don't know what software you'll be using, but I believe one of the most common softwares people use that is used by the architect is usually SketchUp and then Revit, and then I think some people use ArchiCAD as well, but I think Revit and SketchUp are very popular. So I would like to assume if you are watching this video, you are either using SketchUp or Revit, but I'm sure whatever software you'll be using will also have that same format I'll be displaying on this video. All right, so let's go to our Revit. You can see it's the same model which I have on my SketchUp. Is the same model I have here in my Revit as well. So to take this to my Twinmotion, Twinmotion is basically for rendering. It's actually a very great software that you can use for your rendering. You can see if I want to export this, I'm supposed to use the FBX. It's very important that you export as FBX. You have to use this format FBX to export your model. Let's come to our SketchUp so we could see what we have there as well. All right, so on our SketchUp, I will similarly go to my file. Sorry, it's actually still loading in the background, so let's allow it. Right, so I will go to my file here, click on file. I will click on export. I will click on 3D model. Okay, so you allow that to load. Here I will have to select from this drop down. If I click here, have a drop down menu. It make sure it's on FBX. Although there are other formats you can use, but I will recommend you use the FBX. Okay, but if you know any other formats that you can use, it's still fine. So you can export your model. So if I want to export this now, I can just give it a name, Mr. Dominic model GGG. Let me just leave it as it is like this. Make sure you know where you are exporting to. Is very important as well. So now we have click on export. Notes, like I said, is the same thing, whatever, for whichever software you are using, whether for Revit or for SketchUp. You just come to your file, click on export. So I'm not going to do the same thing here because I don't want the system to really hang. Okay, so I've been able to demonstrate that. So you have to patiently wait for this to load. Okay, so we will have to wait for it to load. All right, so once it's done, this is what it will show you. You just click on OK. Then you come to your Twinmotion. For most times I realize that when you install your Twinmotion, you hardly can find it on your desktop. So most times maybe you have to search for it or bring the what they call it, the shortcut file to your desktop manually, but it doesn't automatically pops up on your desktop. So I will search Twinmotion. All right, so you will have to search. When you search for Twinmotion, right, you are going to see the setup, right? So but then if you are using 2021 version, you will just find it in the folder. Once you just click on it, it takes you direct to the Twinmotion actually. So you are here. This is basically the interface. As you can see, to use Twinmotion is quite easy. I'm just going to give you a deep overview of what you can achieve with the Twinmotion quickly. As you can see at the top here, it's more like giving you an overview of what these particular keys mean. You can see the Q means up, the E means down, 1 means you can see these are the speed. This is 1, this is 4. I'm going to demonstrate that to you. You can pan, you can orbit, that's from your mouse. You can see it's pointing. When you hold on your right click, when you hold on that right click, just click and hold, and then you can pan using it. You can also orbit. What it means by orbit is you can go around the model. So I'm going to quickly import a model and click on open. You remember we exported a particular model from our SketchUp, but you can do similar for your Revit as well. So either you are using Revit or you are using SketchUp, whichever one you are using will still work for you. If you can remember, this is the model, Mr. Dominic model GGG, right? I will click on open, and then I will click on OK. So it's actually loading. So if you look at this now here, where we have this FBX here, you will realize that this is our model. It has been imported already. So all I need to do is I will keep using this scroll in my mouse. I will scroll until I'm able to find it. But there's a way to make this way easier for you. If you hold on shift and hold on, and you press and hold your right click of your mouse, and you can easily hover and just orbit, right? So if you want to zoom this faster, you can hold on shift, it goes faster. You can see the numbers there determines the speed. If I press number, you can see the speed will increase. If I press 3, the speed has increased more. If I press 4, the speed is even more. Okay, so this is 1 from 1 to 4. Okay, means the speed. All right, so for me to go up and down, for me to go down, I will hold on, I'll press E. For me to go up, I'll press Q. Okay, so down is E, but for you to always for it to be faster for you, always hold on shift. It's usually way more faster, but without the shift I can also go down. You realize that the speed is less. I'm having a lesser speed. Now let me give you a little breakdown of what they mean. You can see this speed here. If I click on this, number 4 means the speed of aeroplane. The number 3 means the speed of a car. Number 2 means the speed of a bicycle, and then 1 means the speed of a human being. Okay, so basically that is what it means. So by the time you press 1, it reduces the speed. That's the lowest speed, which is human. When you press on 2, that is bicycle speed. When you press on 3, that is the car speed, and then number 4, it's actually the aeroplane speed. So you realize that always when you are trying to zoom. So if you want your zoom to be faster, you can change the speed by just press the number, and that is all. Once you press the number, automatically it will be on that particular speed. So if I press number 2, that means my entire model here is on the bicycle speed. If I press on 3 and I try to zoom in better, that means my model is on the car speed. So that's basically what it means. If you look at here, we have some alphabets. The A means left, the D means right, the W means you are going front, and then the S means you are going back. So if I hold on A, you can see it's taking me along the left direction. If I hold on D in my keyboard, it's taking me along my right direction. If I hold on W, it's taking me front. If I hold on S, it's taking me back. So that's basically what it means. But then you can similarly achieve your front and back using your mouse, but the left and the right, you will have to make use of these letters, your A and D. Okay, so this is how your model is going to look like when you import. This is how it's going to look like. We imported this model with its materials. These are all the materials I applied in my software, which is the SketchUp software. Although I use Revit to do the model, I only imported the drawings into my SketchUp. But however, whichever software you are using, whether you are using Revit or you are using SketchUp or you are using ArchiCAD or whatever architectural softwares you are using to achieve your model, you can import that model into your Twinmotion when you convert it to FBX format. All right, so our model has been imported successfully. I have been able to explain how to make use of I'm sure you know how to make use of your pan. When you hold on the center button in your keyboard, it's usually around the center that you can rotate. That usually rolls. When you hold on it, you can pan your model. I'm sure if you are familiar with AutoCAD or Revit, I'm sure you'll be fully aware of how to make use of your pan. Okay, so I've been able to show these are some of the most basic tools you are going to use as far as Twinmotion is concerned. It shares a lot of similar features with Lumion. So with a very good knowledge of Twinmotion from experience, you may not have much issue understanding Lumion, because these keys are very, very similar with your Lumion software as well. All right, so if you look at the top left corner of my screen, there is something here that looks like an arrow. I will take it back, like an arrow pointing to the right. So if you click on that, it brings you here where you have all these are your libraries. It shows you the material, vegetation and landscape, the objects, character, tools, vehicles, and user library, which I'm going to be explaining even as we progress. Okay, let's just come back to our file and do some of the basic settings you need to do first. These are very, very important settings that you will have to do on your Twinmotion before you start rendering. You need to check or change the quality of your, so we will have to come to preference. Let's see on our preference here. If you come to these settings, this allows you to change from meters to inches, your timestamp. You can do all of these settings. This in 24 hours, the reflection volume. So you can play around with these settings, although these are not the most important settings, though you can leave them at default. This means that this your work is going to be saved automatically every 15 minutes, and you are going to be having 3 copies. So you may probably want to reduce this to 1, so it's like a backup file, 33. It will automatically save to 33. Then your export here. Now you can see it tells us the path. This part means you will specify where you want your work to be saved. So you can see as it is, our work is under document. So I can decide to select anywhere on my system to save my work. So but I will leave it at default. Automatically it will create a folder called Twinmotion 2021, as because this version of Twinmotion I'm using is 2021 version. So automatically a folder will be created with the name Twinmotion 2021. So if you are using a lower version like 2019, I'm sure there is no major difference between the 2021. All these tools are very similar with that of 2019 as well, so you don't have much issues. So I'm going to leave that as it is. I will come to the quality. This is very important. It's a very important settings that you should do. Here allows you to specify how you want to set the quality of your rendering of your rendered work. Okay, you can see it starts from the low, then you have medium, you have high, then you have ultra. This is very important in a case where if you know your system configuration is low, you can leave it on medium or even on low. But if your system configuration is very high, like Twinmotion does not require a very high dedicated graphics card for it to function. But then if your system has a very good graphics card, like a dedicated graphics card, then you can leave it at ultra. But in a case where your system graphics is probably very low, maybe 1 gig or 2 gig, you can actually just stay in between the low or medium, or you can risk it and leave it at high. But what this means is that it's going to be a bit more slower. So the higher your system configuration, the faster it's going to be, and the better the quality of the output you are going to have. Okay, so and then you can come to the appearance here. This appearance allows you to choose a language. You can see it's at English, but if you click on that, you see Dutch, you see other languages, Portuguese and the rest. You can see French here too as well. So if you are listening to this and you are not in Nigeria or any English speaking country, you may have to select if it is among the list here of the language you want to use. And then similarly, you can specify the color interface. So the entire interface of this Twinmotion is going to be on dark, but then it allows you to select another color. You can put it on white. So but then I like to leave it exactly as it is. So we are done with some of the major settings. That is, you have to come to your file here. You can open a new project. You can open a recent project that you have probably done on your Twinmotion. You have demo scenes. This demo is just to show you all the previous scenes that has been done. It comes with the software itself. Then you can save your project. You can also save as. what save as does, it allows you to save your file in a different format. Okay, so you can do all of that. I'm sure for you to use any rendering software, you must be familiar with other maybe at least one other software, probably whether SketchUp or Revit or ArchiCAD or whatever architectural software you are using to come about your model. So if you are familiar with any of those softwares or any other software, I'm sure this is not going to be strange to you. So I'm sure you should be able to know what save is and what save as is as well. For imports is similarly just what this does for you, is basically what we have here. So it's a very important tool. That is why it is outside here for you, just to make it easier for you. But you can as well import from here. You can merge models together. All that being said, in order to make this as brief as possible, we will not waste too much of our time. I'm just going to do a simple demonstration just for you to have a little insight of what Twinmotion is all about. As you can see, if I come to my vegetation and landscape, so I can change the entire landscape, okay, of this entire terrain. I can change the landscape. You can see we have a flat, we have the rock grassland, so however you want. So if I just click on it, I can just drag it and then I will drop. It will automatically take, you can see, preparing the terrain. So this entire terrain is going to be on a rocky grasslands. Okay, so you just have to visualize based on your model, that particular project. Is it going to be on a rocky grassland or in a flat land? However, you can just play around with it here. Okay, so it's loading. It's usually heavy. Rendering softwares are usually heavy, so you can see what that is giving me. It's really giving me something that I will not really want. But then I will not stress too much. I will just change this to a flat land. We are going to talk extensively later as we progress, just to see how to